All right, everyone, welcome to today's educational webinar. My name is Dorian. I'm going to be presenting on how to design your own fitness program. Hola, buenos dias to all my Spanish-speaking friends. Bonjour to all my French-speaking friends. Konnichiwa, a little bit of Japanese. Привет to all my Ukrainian friends. Namaste to all my Indian friends. I'd love to know, friends, where you're joining in today from. Love to know where you're joining today from. Please let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat box. Let me know where you are calling or from, or where you are joining from. Again, my name is Dorian. I'm in Sacramento. I am in Roseville. Shout out to all my Roseville friends, all my Roseville team members. Yes, sir. Costa Rica, Woodland. Okay. San Francisco. We got Houston. We got Oakland, the town. Mexico. Yes, sir. Hopefully Mexico beats Canada tomorrow in the Nations Cup. Santa Clara, we got some Idaho. Anybody else? We got some Seattle, never been there before. Guadalajara, yes. Arriba las Chivas. New Jersey, Roseville, heck yeah, Vicky, what's up? Andover, Massachusetts. So we got 69 people in here, friends. Again, my name is Dorian. I am presenting today. Yep, Chivas. I'm presenting today on how to design your own fitness program. I'd love to know, friends, also what you do for exercise. What do you do for exercise? Do you play sports? Do you lift weights? Do you go swimming? Do you play soccer? Costa Rica, yep. Run. Heck yeah, Raj runs. Penny, walking is very, very powerful. We got some pickleball, TRX, indoor cycling. Rebecca, heck yeah, weights. We got some jumping, Alejandra. Nice. Is that jump rope? Do you jump rope, Alejandra? We got some weight training, yoga. Again, awesome. Love that. Love everybody here that exercises and again, big shout out to also to all my internal team, Shannon, Jenny, Christopher, Mickey, Kimberly, Stephanie, and Brooke. Great. Thank you so much for supporting myself. And again, big shout out to all my internal team members that do QFit classes. Again, these educational webinars are always recorded. That way you are able to, join and to watch. And also, we're here to educate. We're here to provide knowledge. We're here to ultimately help you live a better, healthier, stronger life. That way you can do, perform your activities of daily living and just have a, again, long, healthy life. Please make sure that you are mute. That way we can have a great presentation. Again, everyone, friends, thank you so much for joining. All 83 of you. My name is Dorian. I am the fitness program manager here in Roseville/Sacramento, and I'm presenting today on how to design your own fitness program. Again, background, I'm a former Division I athlete. I played football at Sacramento State, former CrossFit competitor too. I went to CrossFit Regionals twice on a team, which is right below the CrossFit Games. So really awesome experience. That's a photo of me on the left. I started CrossFit 10 years ago in May. A month after I started CrossFit, I won my very first CrossFit competition with my partner, Christopher. And that was really awesome. I really kind of started my CrossFit journey there a month before graduation or a month after graduation, did my first CrossFit competition. I really enjoyed competing. It was a really awesome part of my life. I really miss training, 3 times a day and just kind of being in the gym. So again, former D1 athlete, played football. I'm also a part-time fitness business owner. I'm also a part-time fitness business owner. I have my own business called Black Box Mobile Fitness here in Sacramento. I started that in 2020, in October of 21st of 2020, almost 5 years now. Basically made a trailer and then have some equipment inside, have a squat rack on each side, and I basically go to people's homes and coach them in their garage. That's been a really awesome experience to be an entrepreneur and just have a lot of fun. So it's been awesome, and I really enjoy my role now here as a fitness program manager in Roseville, and I could also kind of fulfill my own entrepreneurship desires and qualities and stuff like that. So that's really cool. Really been an awesome experience. That's a little bit of my background. I'm hoping that you all, again, get so much value from this. Again, if you're on my internal team, please let me know if there's any questions or anything. But for the most part, we'll save question and answers for the very end of the presentation. So again, to my internal team, thank you so much for supporting and helping. And I will try my best to look at the chat box while I am presenting. So what are the goals for today? Okay, we have about 5 different things that I really want to talk about. That's education, reflection, assessing, starting, and then implementing. I'm very stoic when it comes to fitness, movements, exercise. There's so many different aspects of of, again, all these different qualities, health and lifestyle. Education, right? Education on how to start, where to start. I know sometimes, program design can be a little bit confusing, but I'm hoping today I'm going to give you some really awesome practical principles that you can apply. That way you're able to kind of start your own. That way, if, you want to start, maybe watching YouTube videos, or if you want to just kind of experiment a little bit on your own as far as your own gym fitness experience. I mean, I'm hopefully going to give you some practical knowledge that and education that way you're able to implement today. Again, reflection is really important because reflection allows us to audit, our own fitness and movement experience. What is our relationship like with movement and fitness? Do I associate sport with fitness? Those are very two different things. Maybe your PE teacher was a football coach and that was your fitness experience, or that was your sporting experience, so you associated sport with fitness. Again, there's so much really important aspects of fitness that we kind of don't even maybe consider. And I'm hoping I'm going to allow you to maybe kind of audit and just kind of internalize your experience, and hopefully give you kind of a different perspective on what movement is, what health is, what fitness is. Maybe your parents didn't have a good relationship with fitness and movement, and you kind of develop your habits or your learned behaviors from them. So again, these are all questions to consider as you are kind of auditing and reflecting on your own personal experience, assessing, where you are and where you want to be, right? Maybe you're just like super beginner and you're kind of in this analysis paralysis. There's so much education. You're watching YouTube. I'm saying something, your coach is saying something different. The Instagram influencer is saying something different. I mean, there's so much different aspects to education and knowledge. So again, hopefully I'm going to give you some practical education and knowledge here. That way you can actually implement this stuff, implement. Again, starting, if you're a beginner, you want to start somewhere. You want to start a fitness program. You want to just start moving, right? You don't need to be doing CrossFit 5 days a week. You don't need to be doing weightlifting 5 days a week. You just need to start walking, building up good habits, and I'll hopefully give you some education as we progress on the webinar. And then implementation, right? Maybe if you're, kind of intermediate, you're advanced, you have a high training age, meaning you've been lifting weights, you've been doing strength training, you've been moving throughout your whole life consistently. Hopefully I can give you some principles today that way you can kind of maybe audit. Maybe you kind of plateaued, and maybe exercising on your own isn't the best thing for you right now. Maybe you need to, find a group that's fitter than you are. Maybe you actually need to go join a group fitness gym. That way you can improve your fitness. Maybe you need to hire an individual coach. I mean, there's so much different aspects to, again, movement and fitness. So again, hopefully you are able to get some education today. Okay, sorry, I was just kind of looking at the chat. It looks like everybody can see my presentation. Is that correct? Can you give me a thumbs up, or let me know in the chat real fast if you can see my presentation? Thank you, friends. Thank you. All right, cool. We're going to go on to priority number 1, which is assessment. Again, if you're just joining, my name is Dorian. I am presenting on how to design your own fitness program here in Sacramento and Roseville. Shout out to all my Roseville friends. Yes, sir. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to assessment, which is priority number 1. Okay, whenever you're assessing yourself, I want you to ask yourself these three basic questions. Okay, what is your body composition? What are your movement abilities? And what is your current level of fitness? Okay, those 3 questions, very important questions. Now, why? Why body composition? Why do you have to assess your body composition? Well, we want to assess our body composition because we're looking at body fat, not BMI. Now, BMI was created somewhere in the 1970s, right? BMI is a popular, term of basically a measure of body fat based on weight and height. Now, I don't really like that as a measure of assessment because it doesn't take into consideration someone's muscle mass or someone's lack of body fat. So assessment of body fat will give you some direction on what is important for program design. Again, are you over fat and do you need to prioritize losing weight? Maybe you're just lean with muscle, but you want to prioritize hypertrophy, which is the growth and stimulation of muscle. And maybe you want to gain some weight. So again, looking at someone's body fat is more important than looking at someone's body mass index, okay? Now, health risk assessment, why is that important? Well, in medication, in prescription, doctor, maybe someone is actually really scientifically or prescriptionally obese, and they may actually need some medical intervention to help prevent any sort of disease, any sort of viruses, any sort of long-term health risk. So that's why getting a health risk assessment, again, is important through a doctor, through a specialist, etc. So again, if you're actually at risk for diabetes, heart disease, cardiovascular risk, again, seeing a professional will help about these conditions can actually save your life. And they can put you on a temporary prescription for health-related issues, which actually might be important. Again, the whole goal and the whole prescription and length of this is not to be on medication for the rest of your life, but it is for prevention, to hopefully build great behaviors, to start doing exercise, to start doing movement. That way you can put yourself on the spectrum of being more healthier, more fit, having more muscle mass, again, creating great behaviors. That way you can go ahead and get off medication. And again, progress tracking, right? So why body composition? Well, if someone is over fat or has a lot of weight, or someone is really lean and really skinny and underweight or doesn't have a lot of muscle mass, you can always track progress, right? And obviously seeing positive changes in your body composition, they can be highly motivational. They can help you stay committed to your program, to your coach, to your gym. I mean, so much different aspects to progress tracking. I mean, it's really easy. You can track on MyFitnessPal if you're doing something with nourishment. You can track on Wodify to check your PRs. I mean, there's so much different aspects to it. So again, and also visually, right? Like if you're looking at yourself in the mirror, looking at how your clothes fit, there's so much different aspects to progress tracking. That's actually pretty easy. So again, progress tracking is really important. I also really advise to like go get an in-body scan. And if you're in Houston, you have access to an in-body scanner. So hopefully if you're in Houston, you have actually taken some action. You've actually utilized this in-body, which really spews out some really awesome data. And again, if you have any questions in regards to in-body, you can go ahead. If you're specifically in Houston, you can go hit up, Shannon, Jenny, Christopher. I'm sure they'd be able to help you out. And again, that's a really, really awesome metric because you could actually see, subjective data on where you are at, and will help you accurately track your progress over time. Also, if you're wherever you are, there's a lot of nutrition shops that offer in-body scans. So you can call your local nutrition place, ask if they have an in-body, and more than likely you can pay $5 or $10, or sometimes it's even free. So that way it gives you some really, really awesome data. Again, getting an in-body scan and getting a DEXA, these are all important data because you can measure improvement and you can see where you are at. So again, that is why body composition. The next question I want to ask yourself is movement abilities. So why movement abilities? Enjoyment. Now, enjoyment is a really important aspect of movement and fitness because if you are participating in a fitness program and you're constantly bored, you're on your phone all the time while you are exercising, you're not having fun, well, there's a strong likelihood that you're probably not going to stay committed to that fitness program or to that coach or to that gym. So having enjoyment in your fitness program is actually a very high priority and a very important aspect of your own personal fitness experience. Again, if you're not having fun, then you're probably going to deviate. You're not going to stay committed. Ask yourself, how do you want to physically express yourself? Maybe you want to learn how to do gymnastics and you want to learn how to do kipping pull-ups, or you want to learn how to walk on your hands. Or maybe you've been swimming your whole life and you're just like, no, and you want to learn how to do some strength training. You want to learn how to back squat. Again, ask yourself your enjoyment of fitness and how that plays a role into your own fitness experience. Comfort, pain mitigation. Are you doing CrossFit all the time and you're just like super beat up? You wake up, you're super sore. Maybe you're doing weightlifting, you're doing, the clean and jerk and snatch, and you're just like, your hips are just all messed up. Or maybe you're just constantly running, you're doing trail running and your knees are just bugging you so much. So again, are certain movement patterns, are they causing pain? Are they causing discomfort? Are you mentally pushing yourself through pain? You want to find a program that is basically aligned with what brings out great dopamine, great positive feelings, great enjoyment. And the more that you can the more that you could be aligned with that program, the more that you can participate in that program based on your goals, based on these feelings, the more you will continuously move, exercise, have movements, physical ability, or physical expression be a part of your life. And ultimately, that's what we want, because in different phases of our life, we will have different aspects of movement, right? When we're in our 20s, we could probably do high intensity stuff. We could lift weights. We could train 3 times a day like I used to do. Maybe when you move on in your 30s, 40s, you can't really do that stuff anymore, right? Because we have families, we have all these different obligations. So you have to maybe reduce the frequency, or you might have to do a little bit, you might have to have a little bit more rest days. So again, asking yourself these questions, that way you're auditing your own fitness experience and where you want to be. But ultimately, we're looking to find a fitness program that we can do to what? Exercise, reduce entropy, move for the rest of our lives. And again, progress tracking, that gives you the ability, again, when you ask yourself, what are your movement abilities? Maybe you can barely squat, and then 3 months later, now you're able to get full depth, and now you have full range of motion of that squat because you've been doing some leg press, you've been doing some body weight squats. Now you can progress to doing a goblet squat, a front squat, a back squat. I mean, again, these are all different progress tracking measures, again, that you could obviously treasure, or that you could obviously track. Obviously, too, if you're a little bit more advanced, maybe it's time to try something new. Maybe you need to join a gym, train with other people, learn a new skill, maybe try Olympic weightlifting. There's so many aspects to movement abilities. So again, continuously ask yourself these questions. As we move on to question number 3, audit your current level of fitness. Okay. So again, can you go from just not living a sedentary lifestyle and not moving at all to joining a CrossFit gym? 100%. That there's been numerous amount of people that have successfully had a great physical results from doing that. But do you need something maybe more individualized? Do you need to hire a personal trainer? Do you just need to learn how to use machines? Maybe you could just start walking, hitting 5,000 steps per day. Maybe you just need to have a little bit more protein in your meals. I mean, there's so much aspects to it. So you need to audit your current level of fitness, because then that will help you, again, design your own fitness program in regards to what you need, again, what your movement capabilities are, what your goals are. So again, ask yourself, that's why it's really important to audit your current level of fitness. That way you can see kind of where you're at and where you want to go. Direction. Do you need to increase the frequency? Maybe you exercise 3 times a week and you're like, man, I'm just kind of getting a little plateau. I don't know what I need. Maybe you need to add a 4th day, right? That 4th day can be aerobic. That 4th day can be more strength training. Maybe that 4th day can be just stretching and doing core. Again, a lot of aspects to direction. You just need to know, again, what your goals are, where you want to go, and just kind of auditing, again, where you're at. Maybe you're someone that goes to the gym like 5-6 days a week and you're like, man, Dorian, I'm tired. Like, maybe you need to add another rest day. Maybe you need to reduce the frequency. Maybe you need to shorten up your training sessions. Again, there's a lot of aspects to movement and fitness. So I really urge you to kind of internalize and ask these questions for yourself, because they all add up in the macro of our own fitness experience. So as we move on, we wanted to be able to define our goals, which is priority number 2. Again, priority number 1 was assessment. So we've already assessed, okay, where we're at. We can kind of internalize things. We kind of understand where we are. Now we need to define our goals. So why is defining our goals really important? Well, that's going to give you direction, right? It's going to allow you to know where you want to go, where you want to be at, what your end goal is going to be, and how you could compound after that end goal. So what do I want out of this? You got to ask yourself. Maybe do you have a specific goal that you're trying to achieve? Do you just want to start? Maybe you just like, man, I don't know where to start. Are you trying to make friends? Do I want to try a fitness competition? Do I just want to live a healthier life and be a better example for the people around me and the people that I take care of? Again, defining this, asking yourself this question will allow you to basically go to where you need to go, whether that be joining a gym or starting a garage gym, or having a trainer come to your garage, or just using your on-site fitness center. So define your goals and ask yourself, what do you want to get out of this? Number 2 is, how will you get there? Again, are you someone that's super self-motivated and you're super knowledgeable and you just have a problem taking action? Well, all you have to do is just research and get some more knowledge and take action. Maybe you need to hire, again, a personal trainer. Maybe you need to join a gym and have an orientation. Maybe you just need to contact your fitness program manager on site and just kind of go in the fitness center, get some comfort, build some trust, maybe have a little fitness center orientation, and then they could help give you a program. That way you can kind of do for the next month based on the consultation, based on the goals. And again, what is important to yourself. Okay, is comfort and convenience important for you, where maybe somebody can come and train you in your garage? Are you a little bit self-conscious of like, man, I just don't know how to use machines, or I don't know where to start? Maybe you need to buy a virtual program that you can do. Maybe you want to start a garage gym and just start getting some equipment and training in your own garage, in your own comfortable place to train. That way you don't have to go to the gym. You can be around your kids, you can be around your pets. Maybe you're just kind of fit already and you're like, man, I'm kind of in a plateau. You need to find a run club, or you need to train with other people that are fitter than you, or do you need to go join a CrossFit gym? I mean, again, these are all aspects to defining your goals and what is important for you. Another aspect, again, about importance and quality of training is you have to ask yourself what time of the day works best for you to exercise. Are you forcing yourself to wake up every morning to go train when that's not the best time for you? You need to find a time of day um, that is meshed with your energy levels and how you want to physically express yourself. Again, you don't want to force yourself to exercise and move when you're not ready or when you don't feel like it. So again, audit what time of the day works best for you to exercise. That way, again, that you stay committed to that program, and that way you're able to continuously work and train and exercise and have fun. Again, another aspect of why fitness or why defining goals is important for you is this short term for you. Maybe movement and physical expression isn't that big of a priority for you, and you're just trying to get ready for a big life event like getting married. You want to look good for your photos, or how much does it cost, right? Like, do I have enough money to hire a personal trainer? Do I just have a little bit of funds where I could allocate to a gym membership? Again, these are all aspects of defining your goals that I want you to kind of ask yourself as we move along. Implementation. Okay, so priority number 3. So we've defined our goal, we've assessed, we've kind of defined our goals, we kind of know where we want to be at, where we want to go. All these questions I've kind of internalized, and I kind of understand now how I can implement my program. So assess yourself, you define your goals. Now we can go ahead and start. Now we can go ahead and work. So where do I start? How much time do you have to exercise as we start kind of designing our own fitness program? How much time? What resources do you have? If you only have about 30 minutes to train, well, I mean, you can't really do a lot of 30 minutes. You can't really do a lot in 30 minutes based, again, on what your goals are. So if you have, a goal is to become super strong or get super lean or join, do CrossFit and do a fitness competition, 30 minutes might not be enough. So again, what resources, available do you have? Maybe you can set up a consultation with your fitness team at your site. You can start taking some cute fit classes. You can get a fitness center orientation to see if you can you can start exercising at your site gym. I mean, again, these are all questions that you should ask yourself about starting. Again, what time of that day works best for you. As you move along, this will help you dictate your split times, giant sets, supersets, trisets, where you are able to exercise. Is it your garage? Is it your fitness center? Is it an offsite gym? How often are you able to exercise? Again, based on your career, based on your time, and then also what equipment do you have access to, right? Are you just doing free weights? Can you do some machines? I mean, again, all these different aspects as you kind of move along and ask yourself, again, where to start. So now that we kind of assessed, we've done all these stuff, we've defined our goals, and now we can kind of implement our fitness program. I want you to think about patterns over exercises. And the reason for that, as you start designing your own fitness program, you're like, hey, Dorian, I don't know what exercises to do. I don't want you to think about exercises. I want you to think about 6 essential patterns, okay? Those 6 essential patterns are the squat, the push, the pull, the bend, the core, and then the lunge. And then I would add a 7th, which is locomotion or movements. Sports, movements, walking, hiking. I would also add a lot more, but again, I want to keep it really simple, okay? These patterns are essential in our activities of daily living. So what do we do when we get out of bed? We do a sit-up, right? What do we do when we go sit down for lunch, right? We do a partial squat. What do we do when we're climbing upstairs? We're doing a semi-lunge. So these are important aspects of movement that we might not recognize that we're doing throughout the day, but these are patterns that we could also implement in the gym or in our fitness center to aid in our activities of daily living. So again, 7 essential patterns that I want you to focus on when you're actually designing your fitness program. That is the squat. So again, all these exercises, they vary in difficulty. They are not my personal preferences at all. But again, they are exercises that you could do, and they are just examples of squat patterns. So we have the air squat slash body weight squat. We have the cyclist air squat, the pause squat, single leg squat, back squat, overhead squat, wall sits. These are all squat patterns, all squat exercises that you can put under the squat pattern, which will, again, help you do a squat pattern. And as we move on to the squat, we then have push patterns, okay? So we have a vertical push, we have a horizontal push up, a burpee, again, dumbbell bench press, a bench dip, handstand push-ups, shoulder press. Again, these are not exercises that I recommend, but they are exercises in the push pattern that you can go ahead and implement when you are designing your fitness program. Pulling, we have rows, pull-ups, chin-ups, which is more biceps. We have deadlifts, kettlebell deadlifts, ring rows, barbell rows. Again, different planes of motion, but nonetheless, it's still a pulling pattern. So move on to the bend. We have a good morning, a single leg toe touch, Jefferson curl, hip thrust, Russian swing. All these exercises, again, as you defined your goals, as you have assessed yourself, as you have kind of audited where you're at, these are all exercises that vary from beginner to advanced to higher levels of difficulty that you could add in your own fitness program to define or to get you to your goals, or based again on pain and comfort and how you feel and how you want to express yourself. Lunging, we have forward lunges, reverse lunges, split squats. Again, this webinar is recorded, so if you move on through these slides, you can go ahead and just kind of YouTube what a curtsy squat is, what a step up is. And again, these are exercises that you can implement in your own program design. And then core, plank, bird dogs, dead bugs, hollow rocks, V-ups, pull-off press, cable chops. Again, a whole bunch of really, really great exercises that you can put into your design to get to your goals. And then we have locomotion, right? Sports are great. They build community. It's good for brain function and brain activity. There's social benefits, but you also need to have a strength program or participate in resistance movement, because as we age, we lose bone density, and we want to be able to preserve bone density, preserve muscle mass. So all those sports and participating in pickleball and playing pickup basketball and maybe doing flag football. Again, they are important aspects of movement and how we want to physically express ourselves. But participating in a strength training program is also essential, because as we age, we lose bone density, right? So we want to be able to preserve muscle mass. We also want to be able to do, again, have the strength to do activities of daily living. So again, those are the 7 essential patterns that I want you to focus on when you're designing your own fitness program. Now you're like, hey, Dorian, I don't know how many reps to do. I don't know, should I do 6? Should I do 8? Why should I do 15? Again, this will help you kind of figure out where you want to do or where you want to train in the rep range. So according to the Journal of Strength and Conditioning, if you're doing strength, if your whole goal is to become strong, you want to be, more of a power lifter, where you want to do bench, squat, deadlift, you want to train in the rep range of 1 to 5. After you finish that set of 1 to 5, you want to rest anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes, because that will essentially help you continuously build strength and get more powerful. Okay. Hypertrophy. What is hypertrophy? Well, hypertrophy is the stimulation of muscle or the growth of muscle tissue. You want to train anywhere between the 6 to 12 rep range. So again, if you're doing dumbbell rows, you're doing lat pull downs, you're doing dumbbell bench press, all these exercises, you want to train within the rep range based on your goals and based on where you want to get to. So hypertrophy, again, according to the Journal of Strength and Conditioning, you want to rest 1 to 2 minutes after you finish that set, because that will, again, go ahead and give you that hypertrophy stimulation of muscle mass. So strength, you want to be around the 1 to 5 rep range. Hypertrophy, you want to be around the 6 to 12 rep range. And then for muscular endurance, you want to be over 12 repetitions. So again, why muscular endurance? Maybe you're someone that's an endurance athlete. Maybe you do triathlons. Maybe you do long trail runs. Maybe you want to try high rocks, right? Which is a fitness competition. You want to train somewhere around the 12 rep ranges, because that similar rep range will stimulate that same brain pattern, which will produce what's called adaptation. And adaptation is essential for us to perform or us to get to our goals where we want to be. So when you're designing your fitness program, again, based on those patterns that we talked about, squat, push, pull, bend, core, lunge, locomotion, strength, 1 to 5 rep ranges, reps, hypertrophy, 6 to 12, muscular endurance, 12 plus. Okay. As we move on to the rep ranges, again, after you've audited how much time you have, where you can train, what the frequency is like, now you can start saying, okay, I have 30 minutes to devote to fitness or movement. I have defined my goals. I know where I want to be. I only have 30 minutes though. So how do I design my program based on, again, on those 7 patterns? Easy right here, superset. You have A1, which is bench press, A2, lat pull down. So you're going to go ahead and do one exercise of the bench press, a nice simple transition. You will then go to a lat pull down, and you will do that continuously for however long you have to exercise or however long to train, because you're getting 2 different patterns here. So that is a superset. You're doing 2 movements consecutively back to back with small rest time. Or again, if you're someone that wants to just get stronger, you can go ahead and have that big 5-minute rest in between each set and just do those 2 exercises. Same thing, tricep. So 3 exercises completed consecutively. Again, A1, goblet squat, A2, dumbbell bench press, A3, dumbbell bent over row. So we have a squat pattern, we have a push pattern, and then we have a pull pattern, a pulling pattern. I like setting it up that way because you're not doing same muscle groups or same patterns where you are fatiguing the muscle consistently. Now, if you're a bodybuilder and you just want to focus again on small body parts and you want to train that way, you can totally do push, 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 or you can do pull, 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 or you can do squat, squat, squat. But again, if you're someone that wants to do more full body, if you're not training as often, I prefer full body over splits like lower, etc. And again, that is based on your frequency and how often you can exercise. If you're exercising 5 days a week, hey, heck yeah, you can do back and biceps one day. You can do legs on another day. You can do chest and tris on another day. But if you don't have that much frequency, I'd like for you to hit multiple body parts. That way you get more full body because you don't have that much time to allocate to exercise or to strength training, etc. Again, so we have the superset, we have the tricep, we have then moving on to the giant set, 4 exercises completed in 1 set. We have the leg press, the lat pull down, again, a lunging, and then a rowing movement. So again, giant sets. Now we have intervals, okay? Intervals are great, but they are mostly for more powerful, more people that can kind of produce a lot of force. Again, Tabata, I don't really recommend unless you have a lot of prior experience to anaerobic type bouts, such as sprinting, such as sports dedicated to anaerobic work like football, being a powerful athlete. Can you do a Tabata of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off of sit-ups and move at a slow pace? You totally can. But again, I mostly recommend, again, this is just another aspect of movement and fitness that you can add to your own program design. If you are a beginner, I don't really recommend stuff like this, but they are a part of, again, physical expression and designing your own fitness. EMOM, we have every minute on the minute. It doesn't have to be every minute. It can be every minute on the 2 minute, every minute on the 3 minute. And I'll show you examples as we kind of progress towards the slideshow. Aerobic, 400-meter run, 2 minutes off. Anaerobic, 10 seconds on, 2 minutes off. Again, these are just kind of examples of program design based on what your goals, based on where you want to be, based on what you want to implement in your own fitness program design. Then we have mixed and CrossFit. So again, a little bit more advanced, a little bit more someone that has kind of a higher training age, but we have terms like AMRAP, as many rounds or as reps as possible. An example is that of 20-minute AMRAP of Cindy. Cindy is a CrossFit benchmark, 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 bodyweight squats. EMOM, every minute on the minute. And this is like an example, every minute on the 5 minutes. So you're doing a 400-meter run, you're doing 15 hang power cleans, and you're doing 15 burpees over the bar. On the 5th minute, you are repeating that same thing, 400, 15, 15. On the 10th minute, repeating the same thing for a total of 25 minutes. And then we have another one for time, 21 to 15-9, Fran, of thrusters and burpees. So again, these are all examples, and these are all kind of different ways that you can kind of implement based on your time, based on your frequency, again, based on your goals, based on the equipment that you have, etc. So here's an example of a set 30-minute training day, okay? So we have 3 to 5 sets, someone that has more of a hypertrophy goal or muscle stimulation or muscular endurance. 3 to 5 sets, you're doing 10 to 15 repetitions, you're doing a whole giant set, okay? You're moving from A1 all the way to A4. So A1, you're doing a squat pattern. A2, you're doing a lat pull down. A3, you're doing a dumbbell bench press. A4, you're doing a core. You will go ahead and rest, and then you will go ahead and repeat for another 2, 3, 4, 5 sets up until your 30 minutes is done. Okay, so you can get a lot of work done in a short amount of time, again, based on your frequency, based on how much time you have to exercise, based on the equipment you have. This is just an example. This is not me telling you what to do. Again, just a sample, a 30-minute day. Then we move on to a 45-minute day. So again, 3 to 5 sets, again, 10 to 15 repetitions. We're going to go and allocate some strength, and then we're going to go ahead and do a superset. So 8-1, we're going to take about 20 minutes to build a heavy 3 deadlift. So that takes 20 minutes of the 45 minutes. We're then going to move on to B1 and B2, which is another 10 minutes. So again, you'll do dumbbell bench press, you'll do lat pull down, you'll rest, and then you'll repeat to B1, B2 again up until you finish those 3 to 5 minutes or 3 to 5 sets. That'll be another 10 minutes, which takes us to 30 minutes. And then we move on to C1, C2. Again, another 10 minutes, dumbbell RDL, push-ups. That takes up to 40 minutes. And then we have 5 minutes of core. Okay, so you can get a lot of work done. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different exercises, basically, or 3 different patterns to basically kind of allocate that 45 minutes to. And then we have the simple 60-minute day, okay? So A1, 20 minutes, we have a back squat. We're going to work up to a heavy single. We're going to take 20 minutes to allocate to work up to that heavy single. Mixed CrossFit, you're doing every 5 minutes times 5 sets. You're doing 20 cal echo, 20 hang power cleans, 20 wall balls. You will do that for 5 rounds, which will take 25 minutes. And then lastly, we have core and stretch. So A1, A2 will take 45 minutes. And then we move on to C1, which will take another 15 minutes for 60 total minutes of devoting ourselves to core and stretch. Okay, so those are just kind of simple sample training days. And then lastly, I know this is a fitness design program or fitness design webinar, but this is the most important slide of the presentation, okay? And that is your BLGs or your basic lifestyle guidelines, okay? These are, I would add so much more to this, but again, principles, foundations, regardless of the information that you seek, regardless of the information that you internalize, your coach, what you see on social media, what you see on YouTube, get sunlight to your skin, drink half your body weight in ounces of water, especially if you're in a hotter climate, you want to drink a little bit more water. Add electrolytes, you want to be able to move every day. You want to go to bed and wake up at the same time to have the essential circadian rhythm. Sit down, chew your food, set your phone aside, and just connect, smell the food, connect with other people. You want to have fruits and vegetables. You want to build meaningful relationships. Again, this is all really important basic stuff that you can just be practicing throughout your whole day to, again, live a long, happy, prosperous, fit, strong life. And then adding yoga, adding strength training, adding sports. If you're taking care of the essentials, you have really great behaviors, again, you will probably have a successful fitness experience. But again, if you're just training 6 days a week, 5 days a week, and you're not doing these things, I mean, there's high likelihood that you're probably not going to stick to your fitness program, and just your behaviors, your lifestyle is just not aligned to living a healthy life. And ultimately, what we all want to do is what? Live a long, prosperous, healthy, strong, be able to perform activities of daily living, be able to go to our workplaces and have successful careers and be great team members. And if we have kids, what? We want to be able to be role models to them. We want to be able to be role models to our communities and just be a positive influence. So again, although this was a fitness program design webinar, this is the most important slide of the presentation, is taking care of your BLGs, your basic lifestyle guidelines, because this will help you, again, have a just successful, positive, great relationship with movement. So again, thank you all so much for joining. I want to go and move on to the Q&A. We can allocate about 10 minutes to this. You can be as specific as you want. Feel free to kind of put your question on the chat, or feel free to come off mute. I know I went a little fast. I tried to kind of get through the presentation in a very kind of good, positive, communicated way. Again, I could be super in depth about this. So if you have any questions, friends, please come off mute and let me know, and I could answer them for you. Or you can add in the chat. Thank you, Raj, for joining. The Aparova says, I currently practice yoga with an instructor for around 3 to 4 days a week where I lift my body weight. Do you suggest that I do weightlifting besides that? So weightlifting is a sport. Weightlifting is a clean and jerk and snatch, okay? So I really want to kind of give you the information when it comes to that. Whenever someone says, I weightlift, you're mostly saying that you do the sport of clean and jerk and snatching or Olympic lifting. So I'm assuming that you do strength training. Okay. So I suggest that everybody participates in some sort of strength training program. Again, because of the research, as we age, we lose bone density, right? I'm sure that we all have grandparents or people in our lives that have fallen. They can't get up. They have to call someone to help them. So that's why doing these 6, 7 essential patterns is important, because if we fall, what happens? We want to be able to lunge and get up to the standing position, right? If we fall, we want to be able to get to the squat position where we're sitting down. So again, participating in a strength training program, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days a week is important in order to preserve muscle mass and in order to continuously do the patterns that we're doing every day, which is our activities of daily living. Like when we get out of bed, we do a sit up. Like when we sit down for lunch and we do a partial squat. Like when we go to bed and do a reverse sit up. Again, these are all essential patterns. Again, going up steps, doing a small lunge, doing these patterns are essential for, again, having strength training, preserving muscle mass, building more muscle mass, getting stronger as we age, preserving bone density. So yes, I do recommend participating in a strength training program. Now, how often do you do that? Again, that is totally up to you based on your goals. But if yoga is something that you enjoy doing, that you love doing, I would base your program based on yoga, because that is what's going to have you do movement and fitness and again, physically express yourself the way that you want to express yourself. Any other questions, friends? Anything else I can answer for you? No problem, Arpuva. No problem. I'll wait a couple more moments just in case anybody else has any questions. No problem, Chris. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Again, big shout out to my internal team, Shannon, Jenny, Christopher, Misty, Kimberly, Stefan, who's no longer with us, Stephanie, Brooke, thanks so much for your support and for joining the webinar. Next time you guys join a Cupid class, please tell them thanks. They all do a good job. Again, all these webinars, all these Cupid classes that we do, all these programs that we do, we really do it because we want to help you. We want you all to take the education and take the knowledge that we have, take the practical experience that we have. Again, I'm not someone that just tells you, hey, you go do these things. I'm actually doing these things every day. You know, I exercise 6 days a week. I hit over 10,000 steps. You know, I really know how to take care of myself. So again, when we're telling you these things or when we're giving you education and knowledge on all these different aspects of movement and fitness, is because I am practicing what I'm preaching, what I'm kind of describing and giving you the education on. Thanks so much for joining. All right, friends, looks like we don't have any more questions. Again, thank you all so much for joining. If you have any questions, you can contact me on Slack at Dorian Medina, or you can go ahead and just send me an email at dorian.medina2@HPE. I will go ahead and put my email. If you want to talk, again, if you want to talk about fitness, you want to talk about movement, you want to talk about CrossFit, sports, whatever it is, what are your own fitness experience, I'd be so happy to get on a Teams call with you and just really kind of help you, either help you with your program design or connect you with anybody from your on-site, or just kind of be a resource for you to, again, just add movement and add fitness and add health. You don't have to do CrossFit 5 days a week. You could just get up and go walk, get some sunlight, drink some water, have some fruits and vegetables, you know, base your plate on protein, and I think you could be really good. So again, Vijay, yep, this program or this webinar is recorded, so you will have access to this webinar. Brad, thank you so much for joining, man. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Brooke, appreciate you too. Thank you so much for joining. All right, friends, looks like we will log off now. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a healthy and prosperous rest of your week. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you, Vijay.